And you surely don't have memory of a goldfish. You can remember things. What do you do?
I have a great memory of.
Yeah.
I have always had a great ability of being able to.
Do you do something? Do you eat something?
No, I don't eat anything. I do. I do a lot of speed reading.
Right.
I do speed reading. I read a lot of documentation very quickly. But that's a topic, and that's a mentoring area that I think people should look at.
Yes.
One of my next door neighbours, he was in the paper business. He worked for the Times.
Okay.
And he told me he cannot read a paper. And it's not that he can't read a paper. He's been in the business for so long that he hadn't time. He had to speed read the broadsheets to work out what his story would be. So now when you give him the paper, he cannot. He just reads like that. So he can't read a book correctly. He's been trained in his mind to speed read.
Yeah.
I've learned how to do that, and it's greatly because I can digest an enormous amount of information very quickly. But I'm looking for the topics and the words, and then I can hang the thing together. When I was doing my exams, I was sort of people used to say is, do your exams with repetition. This question looks like last year's question, you just change the numbers. I would never do it that way. I would work out the basic principles, what the question was, and build it up from front principles.
Right.
So I could go into
about the logic and understanding of it rather than
So if you looked at that, you would be able to do and get an A+ in it by only carrying 40% of what everybody else had to carry in their mind, because they were carrying repetition. But when the question changed in any way, shape or form, they were confused.
Yeah.
So they have to build it from basic principles. And I've applied that to logic and computer systems for the last 30 years. They still work on fundamentally the same principles. Non-functionals, same questions, it's a different technology, whether it was Mule or whether it was Java, whether it was C++, whether it was C, whatever it is, the same principles apply. And if you understand the basic principles, you have to learn a programming language. Well, that's only words. You still program in if-else loops, you still program in for loops, you still have case conditions. The basic construct of, well, does that run fast? Does that run slow? Have you programmed it correctly? Is it neat? That's still the same principle, whether you wrote it in Fortran or 4GL. But if people don't come with that understanding, they can take any language and cause it to run chaotic. So that's about some of the insights to me, I suppose.